Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zhang here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Ranked where I climb the online Series 8 ladder and provide live commentary as I go. Today we are trying out a really fun team featuring Necrozma Dawn Wings, and I'm pretty excited about this one because we, at this point, after using this team, will have featured pretty much every serious restricted Pokemon in Series 8 at some point. I think the only things we haven't featured are the base forms, like regular Kyurem, regular Necrozma, for example, and the I think we haven't used Giratina Origin form. That's pretty much the only other thing. But after this, yeah, we've pretty much used everything in Series 8 that's competitively viable. So, you know, I'm excited about that because when Series 8 started, in my preview video, you may remember, I was like, you know, I think like you can probably feature every restricted Pokemon in some way. Like some will obviously be very meta dominant. That's really been the case with Zacian and Kyogre, Groudon, for example. But you can utilize most of the restricted Pokemon and make them work. It's just, you know, you might have to work a little bit harder for them to actually utilize them. But that's the cool thing about Pokemon, especially in Sword and Shield. With Dynamax, you can really make any single Pokemon work. You just have to build properly around it. So this team was sent in to me by Rich. Huge thank you to them. Their Twitter is linked in the description below, as well as a rental and a paste for the team. And it's a hard Trick Room team featuring Necrozma. No weakness policy in Necrozma, surprisingly, but it's just Life Orb. So, as you see, there are 3 Trick Room users in Necrozma, Porygon 2, and Stakataka. You're really going to want to typically aim to get Trick Room up unless your opponent's even slower than you, which sometimes is the case because Necrozma isn't exactly the slowest Pokemon. Liepard's a really good partner here. You may remember in early VGC 2020, Liepard was something that was used with stuff like Hatterene or Uniclus, for example. And what you can do is copycat Max Guard to guarantee Trick Room going up. So that's really valuable, especially with the number of taunt users that are running around in the format, or just the number of Pokemon that can threaten Necrozma for a knockout in the beginning of the game. So yeah, you got Liepard here to potentially copycat, set up Trick Room for that Necrozma. Necrozma does a lot of damage, especially with that Life Orb, and then when you combine that with Fake Tears from Liepard, you can pick up a lot of one-hit KOs under Trick Room. The cool thing is you can also, you know, make yourself a little bit bulkier with Max Quake and lower your opponent's defense via Max Phantasm. That, you know, sets up Torkoal with Body Press and then Stakataka with Body Press and just full physical attacks as well. Finally, Vikavolt. Vikavolt's a really cool Pokemon. We haven't used it at all in Series 8. I honestly can't remember the last time we featured it on the channel, but it definitely has like a niche in the meta. You know, same type of attack bonus, bug damage is actually pretty neat, and generally it actually has surprisingly good coverage. Like I didn't realize it got access to Flash Cannon, so I was like, hey, you actually hit Fairy types pretty hard as well. So overall, there are a lot of cool components to this team, and I'm excited to try it out. You know, to me, I'm just really happy that we were able to feature pretty much every serious restricted Pokemon in Series 8, so I really appreciate you all, as always, for watching and for supporting me. You know, Series 8 has been a lot of fun, especially to make Road to Ranked, especially trying out all these different teams, and just, yeah, trying all these different restricted Pokemon. So thank you to you all, as always, for watching. If you enjoyed, please show your support by leaving a like. I'd really appreciate it. And with us using Necrozma today, my question of the day, I want to know, what is a dual typing in Pokemon that you would like to see that doesn't exist yet, down in the comment section below. I don't know what my answer to this would be. I'm really not sure. Like, I think there's some cool stuff with Fairy that I'd be really intrigued by, but I don't know what type with Fairy that I'd want to see. So I gotta think about that a little bit more, but let's get into today's episode. Alright, getting into the first game of the day. This is a really cool team. I think it may be one of the top performing teams from the Players' Cup 4 qualifiers. Because I remember, I think I saw it on Victory Road's list of rental teams. So if that's the case, could go Liepard, Necrozma. Vikavolt's really cool here, actually. The main thing to watch out for is definitely the Marowak on my opponent's end. That thing's really scary. Like, I'm leaning towards Liepard, Necrozma, Torkoal, and Vikavolt, but this makes me very weak to Marowak. My answer against Marowak would bring Stakataka. My opponent could just lead Kyogre here as well. That actually seems really darn good. If they go Kyogre, I'd probably just sack Torkoal, bring Liepard back out, and then Max Guard Trick Room. Marowak's what I'm nervous about here. I think if they didn't have Marowak... Oh, I suppose they have an Urshifu as well. I mean, part of the reason why Necrozma is not very good in the format is because Urshifu exists. Just the 4x, like the fact that Urshifu and Incineroar are in the format means you have two Pokemon that are very common that do 4 times super effective damage with their Dark type attacks, right? And so this Necrozma wants to Dynamax often, and going up against a really common Pokemon that can beat you when they're not maxed makes you feel a little sad. So yeah, but let's get into the first game today. I think There is a reason why Necrozma Dawn Wings was left for the very end. I think it's probably just one of the least consistent restricted mons out of everything. It is just going to be Ludi and Kyogre, okay. I guess my question here is whether or not they have Fake Out on Ludicolo. Some Ludicolos don't run it. The play I'm leaning towards here is to actually just hard switch Liepard into Torkoal, change the weather. Actually, this works. I can just switch out in Trick Room. Unless my opponent maxes Ludi and goes like Geyser, Water Spout. I guess that's a possibility. That actually would be really bad. But if we can get Trick Room successfully up here, it's actually not terrible for us. So let's see who they max. Oh, they're not going to max either. Interesting, okay. Torkoal survives with 1 HP. Just Muddy Water, Water Spout. So I could have just gone Copycat Max Guard turn 1 to set up Trick Room. Accuracy drop's scary, but that's fine. That should be Choice Scarf Kyogre then if they're water spouting like that. The good thing is that they don't really have a safe switch into Max Phantasm. But you do get Trick Room up. So I think I'm going to go into Vikavolt here. We just have basically 4 turns of Trick Room to work with, maximum offense. Like I said, though, Marowak is what I'm nervous about from my opponent's end. So, what's more likely to switch out here? Kyogre out into Marowak? I think I'm willing to just Bug Buzz Ludicolo here, max, and go for Phantasm onto Kyogre. Kyogre's not really that much of a threat to me right now. We'd actually be in a really good spot if I just went Max Guard Trick Room turn 1. Because then I would lose Liepard, get a free switch in into the Torkoal, and then I could just click Eruption and max. So, but the thing is, if I Max Guard, my opponent goes for Fake Out on Ludicolo, that's just so disastrous for us, right? Interestingly enough, they actually stay in with both Pokemon here. Okay. I'm okay with that. If you don't protect either, you don't max either, this might just be a double KO. The problem, though, is if they have Urshifu Marowak in the back, because I'm not setting up... I should have set up Psychic Terrain here, I think, just so they couldn't Sucker Punch us. Oh, it's not Scarf Ogre. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so we get Bug Buzz off. That's a KO. Nice. Yeah, I think it's better to max Psychic here just for the fact that we can set up Terrain, because we don't get any value out of defense drops right now anyway. So now it's like my opponent can theoretically bring in Urshifu if they have it. I guess my question then is whether or not Sucker Punch KOs with our ability. It is 4 times super effective, but we are maxed. Let's see who they bring out. Didn't want to go for an electric type attack there for the potential Marowak switch in. Phantasm like destroys a Marowak switch in, but so should Max Psychic if Marowak isn't maxed. So it would have been better to Max Psychic, I think. The only thing I didn't want to do is Max Psychic into an Urshifu Dark switch in and get no damage off, and I was pretty nervous about that. So like Phantasm is at least guaranteed damage. And this might be okay. They bring out Thundurus. Okay, that's really good for us in my opinion. That is very good for us. We have a lot of options right now. I don't want to actually Phantasm because I don't want to give this a Defiant boost in case it maxes on us, right? Actually, Kyogre's not really a threat to us at all in this position. What's my opponent's last one going to be? I'm nervous about it being Marowak. Volt Switch Kyogre and Mindstorm into Thundurus. They don't switch, and they're going to max. That's very interesting. Okay. I mean, I thought really hard about doubling up onto Thundurus there, but... Oh, I guess Thundurus could have max Darkness in this position. Oh, it's a Kyogre max. Huh, okay. Well, that makes sense. You change the weather. I get Volt Switch off into it, and then I have Thunder for the late game. Eerie Impulse? Oh, hello Darkness, my old friend. No way. I don't know if I'm laughing out of pain. No, it's not. I know it is just out of pain. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. I thought I left that back in Gen 5, but here we are. Okay, they're not going to come close to knocking it. That did no damage. So, like, this is still winnable, but if we actually got... Okay, we can still Thunder now. Is Marowak their last one? It would make sense for it to be their last one. No, it is Urshifu. Okay, so us having terrain is actually very valuable right now. We still have 2 turns of Trick Room to work with as well, which is huge. I want to double up into something here. It's just who do I double up into? Leaning towards Urshifu. Because I could Max Quake too. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to Volt Switch and Max Quake here. Nice, okay. Is it a double? That's fine, because I have one more turn of, like, you just sold out 1 turn of your max, and I still have Trick Room, and I get a special defense boost now. And, fortunately for us, Vikavolt actually snaps out of the confusion, which is a really big deal. So, like, this is why it was really important to set up Psychic Terrain earlier. Now, Kyogre can still very easily sweep through us, because my Liepard's not going to do any damage into it, so I still have to be very careful here. But the thing is, by double protecting and us having 1 turn of Trick Room, you can just attack both Pokemon this turn. Ooh, you could Sucker Punch Vikavolt here, right? Because it's not grounded. Like, I want to just Thunder here into the Kyogre. How many turns of Psychic Trainer left? 3? Liepard being in the back just doesn't help us at all because it doesn't have damage. Oh, we could copycat something, actually. That'd be really interesting. I think I'm going to go for the double up here onto the Kyogre. Especially if they Sucker Punch because Vikavolt would survive. Oh, they go for the double on Urshifu. Oh, then we should definitely win the game with this double up, right? Nice. No. Okay, I thought the Para would let them attack first under Trick Room. Oh, we have defeated my greatest enemy, Swagger Thundurus. After all these years. Okay, it's a 3v1. Urshifu can't do it now. What's really critical was that we set up the Psychic Terrain so my opponent couldn't Sucker Punch. Oh, it's not over yet. Necrozma's accuracy is at -1. Oh. Does Crit Wicked Blow KO or Vikavolt? I wouldn't think so. I actually probably should have just gone for Thunder over Volt Switch. They should target Vikavolt always. That's your win con. Okay, nice. It doesn't KO. Let's go. Vikavolt was huge for us in this game. So good. Alright, we get Earth Power off, and that's a KO. Nice. Ooh, that was really tricky. It was huge that they didn't have Marowak, because then you can't redirect. Like, Marowak is what I was most afraid of, and they didn't end up coming out, which was actually really nice for us, so we take those. But that was a great game for Lunala and Vikavolt, so I'm very happy about that. Turn 1, like I said, yes, I could have gone for Copycat Max Guard, but if Ludicolo just goes for Fake Out, that's pretty bad, right? Yeah, there's really no way around that. If you, like, just Fake Out Water Spout turn 1, I figured my opponent couldn't deny me Trick Room unless they Max Ludicolo, Max Geyser, and Water Spout. But I felt like the odds of that were relatively slim, which is why I felt decently confident in our play there. Wow. It's another Liepard here. Okay, interesting. And we have Max Quake on Necrozma. Like, Necrozma looks very good here. Torkoal's essential. Torkoal's interesting for Eerie Impulse, but I think it's probably Liepard, Necrozma, Stakataka, Torkoal. Are we min speed here? Think so? I just don't know who to lead with. We could go with our own Stakataka. I think it's probably just Liepard Necrozma here. Torkoal stack in the back. As much as I love Vikavolt, it doesn't make sense here into 2 fires and an ice type. And Porygon's not that great because two of my opponent's biggest threats are Stakataka and the Torkoal. Well, sorry, not Stakataka, Stakataka and Calyrex Ice Rider. And Calyrex Ice Rider, without foul play on Porygon, I do no damage to. Cali Ice and Liepard, okay. This is very interesting. Does Calyrex outspeed us here? Honestly, I'm not sure. I don't know who's faster between the Calyrex and the Necrozma. If it's min speed Calyrex, then Calyrex should be slower. I don't want to activate a weakness policy. I feel forced to fake out into them right now. I really want to just KO Liepard turn 1, so I'm going fake out Max Quake. Don't want to do is Phantasm into Calyrex Ice and activate its weakness policy here. Because then it just does so much damage, right? Calyrex Ice without weakness policy, like I can handle, especially with Torkoal in the back. And I don't necessarily need Trick Room up right now. If they set up Trick Room, we have Torkoal and Stakataka to potentially take advantage of it. Okay, so they're going to max as well. And we're faster, which is a really big deal. One thing that's important too, that means I can Phantasm the partner of Calyrex to lower its defense. The question is, what does Calyrex do turn 1? I would guess Hailstorm into Liepard. Like, if I were my opponent, I would have gone Fake Out into Liepard, Hailstorm into Liepard. So I could have switched my Liepard out. I'm hoping Life Orb Max Quake knocks out their Liepard, by the way, because if it doesn't, that could be really bad news for us. And if they don't go for Hailstorm and went for something like Max Knuckle instead, that would be incredible, because then I can just Fake Tears Phantasm into the Cali Ice next turn. And unfortunately, the special defense boost is not important for us at all in the context of this matchup, or this first turn. But I just wanted to eliminate Liepard to prevent any shenanigans from that. Okay, they go for Max Quake. That's a very big deal. Because we obviously survive, because we have Sash. And it means, like, I get another turn with Liepard, which means I can also Fake Tears with it. That's actually huge. The main thing we don't want to do here is just activate policy. Now my question is whether or not +1 Life Orb Phantasm KOs Calyrex Ice Rider. I'm not 100% confident on that. And they bring out Stakataka. That's fine by me. If you're bringing out Stack, I'm just going to go for Fake Tears onto it and a Max Quake onto it. Because if we stall out my opponent's Trick Room, this is in our favor. Okay, nice. No Protect from Stakataka, so that's good. I don't know. If Fake Tears Phantasm is actually a one-shot onto Cali, that might have been the better play. I went for Fake Tears onto it, by the way, to cover for the option of it being Shukaberry. Although, I guess, like, Trick Room going up here isn't necessarily bad. And now it's like, if they Knuckle into Liepard, that's a lot of boosts instantly. Okay, they just went for Hailstorm, though. That's fine with me. This is actually really interesting. Like, yes, you do damage in a Necrozma, but you just denied yourself a boost onto the Liepard. So you don't get an attack boost, which is actually really critical. And we have Air Balloon on Stakataka here. Which means I can take a... Like, you can't Max Quake into me. Huh. You know what could be funny? Bringing out Torkoal and then hard switching into Stakataka, baiting Max Quake. I think I just like going into Stakataka more right now, because Necrozma's just so good into my opponent's team as of right now. And I'm kind of expecting Torkoal to be their last one. Yes, it is. Okay, that's very good. That is very good for us. Because the thing here is, my opponent's in a really awkward spot. I think we Phantasm to get a defense drop, and I think we actually set up Trick Room, because once we set up Trick Room, Stakataka under Trick Room should destroy my opponent's team. The only tough thing is like Stone Edge could miss. But yeah, honestly, I like Trick Room here. And Phantasm into the Torkoal. That gets the KO onto Torkoal if they don't protect. So they should probably protect. And they don't protect. Okay, wow. I'll assume this one-shots Torkoal. I'm not 100% sure. Beautiful. Wow, what a beautiful game for Necrozma here. Couldn't have gone any better, honestly. Nice. And their Trick Room is insurance, right? Because, like, the air balloon means that I'm not worried about... Wait. Oh, I was like, did I just activate a weakness pulse? Max Overgrowth. Huh. Whiter Max Overgrowth. I mean, it's coming from Seed Bomb, right? It makes sense, but... Oh. So the good thing now, though, is that I don't have to worry about weakness policy, and we have Eruption Torkoal in the back, so this game is a guaranteed win, I think. Our Necrozma was able to just sweep through very easily here, because my opponent never protected. Single protect would have made things trickier, but to be honest, once Stakataka goes down, I think we were in really, really good shape. I am very surprised Stakataka didn't protect, but I think a lot of Stakatakas just don't run protect these days. You want Trick Room, Gyro Ball, a rock type attack, and then you can run like Body Press. I think I've seen some run Ally Switch if I remember correctly. But shoutouts to Necrozma, it's been really good. We've run into pretty favorable matchups for it for sure, which helps, right? There's no reason to risk him. Well, with Torkoal in the back, there's actually no way we can lose anyway, right? What have we seen from this? Max Quake, Max Hailstorm, Max Overgrowth. I don't know why I'm deliberating here. It doesn't make a difference. What's the numbers advantage? We just go for consistent damage. I'm just gonna body press. Like, we don't even have to worry about weakness policy, but Stone Edge can miss. So it's a 3v1. There's no way your Cali Ice can win against here with Torkoal in the back. I guess their only win con was if they had, wait, does it even get Earthquake? I think, isn't it just high horsepower? Like, there's no spread damage other than Glacial Lance. But we know Torkoal outspeeds Calyrex here. This is, like, kind of a cool pin where it's like you have one Pokemon slower, one Pokemon faster. Well, I guess in this endgame, it's not really relevant, but sometimes you have these endgames where it's like, holy cow, okay, that actually just KO'd even with the special defense boost. I need to do that calc. Whether or not, we would have one-shot with Max Phantasm at -1. Because if so, then we could have just gone Fake Tears Phantasm. The problem with Fake Tears Phantasm onto Cali is like Cali could just protect there and then Stakataka could Trick Room. We really don't want Trick Room to go up there. So, Necrozma, Dawn Wings into Calyrex, Ice Rider, Moongeist Beam, Life Orb, Max, -1 special defense. This thing is maxed. Max HP. No, that's a guaranteed KO. Holy cow. Wow. Okay, then the play was to well, no, the play wasn't to just go for Fake Tears, because like I said, Stakataka could Trick Room there. We really didn't want Trick Room to go up, but Necrozma just fully swept through that, which was really, really impressive. That's a really important calc to know, though, honestly. Because, yeah, this means we don't, like, yeah, even with the Max Quake boost, after a single drop, you can one-shot Calyrex Ice Rider. So, that's a pretty cool calc. Good stuff, Necrozma. Alright, let's get into the next game. Next match here, and we've got Kyogre again. Okay. Hey, I mean, these are not bad matchups for Necrozma, I have to say. Like, we went, what, Kyogre, Calyrex Ice, Kyogre? Like, I'll take it. Definitely a favorable set of restricted mons. It's funny because, you know, people say Series 8 feels like matchup. Like, you're basically... Like, it feels matchup-based, especially in terms of restricted Pokemon. I think, like, the top restricted Pokemon, like, give you decent matchups against everything. But if you're using stuff like Necrozma, Lunala, for example, then it definitely becomes a little bit trickier. Now, they have Mimic... I mean, the whole team is interesting. Like, there's Venusaur, but then there's no Sun. Whimsicott could Sunny Day, obviously. And then there's Mimikyu, but, like, no Calyrex Ice Rider. So, definitely feels a little disjointed. But that doesn't mean it's necessarily weak by any means, right? Just no, like, clear apparent synergies from what you would typically expect. Okay, well, they don't have Fake Out here, so this is actually the perfect time to go for Max Guard Copycat Trick Room. Okay, I'm down for that. Vikavolt's not bad here. I want Torkoal, Vikavolt, and Stakataka, though. Which ones? Oh, I guess Stakataka doesn't have Rock Slide and it's Stone Edge. Stone Edge is less reliable here. It's just the Cinderace that scares me, but I think I'm going to go Torkoal Vikavolt here. Either way, I'm very happy with how the first 2 games have gone. Like, we definitely ran into pretty decent matchups, but the first game was so wild. I mean, that last one, like, we were just fortunate our opponent never protected. I wouldn't be surprised if they just, like, didn't have Protect on a lot of those Pokemon, so, like, that wasn't even an option for them. Okay, it's Whimsicott Cinderace. Yeah, this is perfect. We're just going to go Max Guard. This is going to be sick. Unless Whimsicott has Encore. Yeah, I'm going to Copycat. And Max Guard here. Yep. Because they probably want to Max Darkness us, right? Wait, if they Max Darkness us... Shoot, they turn into Dark type. Uh-oh. Wait, maybe I should have just gone, like, Liepard Porygon, honestly. Because the thing is, if you max Darkness... And what in the world is my Liepard going to do next turn? Yeah, wait, I should have thought about this a little bit more. I mean, what other play could I have really made here? If they go for anything other than Max Darkness, we are totally fine, but it should be Max Darkness. I don't think you'd max here otherwise. Okay, so this is like the cool thing. Glad to at least feature this mechanic. I know, this was something that was used a little bit in previous, like in the beginning of 2020, but it's been a while since I've actually seen this, so that's one way to guarantee Trick Room. Oh, interesting, they just Gleam, okay. Now, I'm fine with that. Big question is what Cinderace is going for here. And it's Max Knuckle. Oh, that's so good for us. That is so good. Because I mean, the only problem now... Okay, but if you make that play, that means they've either read into Necrozma protecting, or, like I suspect, they might have Encore on Whimsicott. Yeah, if they do, that's actually such a big problem for us. Okay, Life Orb Cinderace, that's good to know. We just go out into Torkoal here. Yes, they have Kyogre in the back. I mean, if they have Encore here, we lose, I think. That's what it boils down to. So let's see. It's not a common move on Whimsicott in the slightest, so I wouldn't count on it. I'm just going to go Eruption here and Max Mindstorm into Cinderace. It's just a really big deal they didn't turn themselves into Dark-type, because the thing is, Necrozma Dawn Wings is really bad into Dark-type Pokemon. You just can't even do that much damage into it. You're forced to Max Quake, more or less. Nice, and they taunt. Oh, okay. I think we are in a game-winning position, because my opponent's team is really, really weak to Trick Room. Beautiful. They're not even Sash or Whimsicott, so could be a Eject button? Although Taunt doesn't really accomplish anything when I'm maxed already. So yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't think my opponent can come back from this, because we just set up the Psychic Terrain, we have one more turn of Max, and we have Vikavolt in the back. The Vikavolt's been so good against Kyogre, so like I said, we got pretty lucky into matchups to run into 2 Kyogre teams, in two out of the 3 teams today with Kyogre. Like, this is as good as it gets for Necrozma, right? Not many, like, Incineroars to deal with either. Mimikyu comes out. That could max, but that's fine. And there's Kyogre, yeah. Okay, this actually isn't a win yet because of Mimikyu, so we have to be careful. But Mimikyu having Protect here feels super unlikely, so I can Eruption just to break the sub. And then Mindstorm to KO Mimikyu here. Oh no, I should Phantasm. What am I saying? Yeah, let's go for that. Because Kyogre's not going to one-shot a... wait, they didn't max, huh? Well, I guess they might want to just go for, like, Origin Pulse or Water Spout, but I think you have to max this turn to... Oh, they max Cinderace. What am I saying? Never mind. Yeah, because we KO'd their Maxmon, I don't think they had any out here. Nice. And this is what Hard Trick Room is meant to do, right? You get Trick Room up and you just try to sweep your opponent. And in this case, we ran into a very favorable matchup in the sense that my opponent's team was rather hyper-offensive, and they don't have many answers against Trick Room, which is really good for us. So, all we needed to make sure was that we didn't lose Necrozma here. Eruption was always super safe. Very, very few Mimikyus are running Protect, and so I felt like that was more or less a guaranteed knockout into Mimikyu. Even if Kyogre had Max Geyser, even in the rain. With Mystic Water, I don't think KO's Necrozma in that position. So the thing about going for the copycat strat is recognizing when you can go for it, right? And in this case, my opponent didn't have any fake out users. They had no way to really prevent me from getting the copycat off. And so the combination of that meant that it was actually very safe for us to do so. So we've definitely had a favorable string of matchups to start our time with this team. Like, I wasn't expecting things to go this well, but we'll certainly take it. Thunder doesn't KO there, but we'll get the sick Photon Geyser animation. Very cool. And that Kyogre is going to faint. Perfect. Great. Okay. Well, I'll play a fourth game here because things have gone by pretty quickly. But yeah, it's like I said, I didn't expect things to be this good with the Necrozma, so very happy. Honestly, Vikavolt's been really impressive. Just a strong Electric-type Pokemon is really cool. And then the fact that you have... Oh, it was AV. I was wondering how it took Thunder that well. Life Orb Cinderace. Scarf Darmanitan. Yeah, I mean, this is just as offensive as I guess. Goggles is really interesting. What's the point of Goggles on this? Oh, okay, I see. So that Amoonguss can't Rage Powder, so then you can Taunt. Rocky Helmet Mimikyu. And they didn't have Protect on anything. Huh. So that definitely helped us a little bit. But that's what I mean, right? In Team Preview, I was like, okay, my opponent doesn't have too many super scary synergies. If we get Trick Room up, we should just win the game. So the goal was basically set Trick Room up and then go from there. So, yeah. But this one should be our last one for the day. Either way, it has been an absolute blast playing these games today with Necrozma. So, Eternatus. I actually believe I've seen this team before. It's a Japanese team, if I remember correctly. Is it on Victory Road? I feel like I've definitely seen this before. I'm just curious. If I can find it, I'll link it in the comment section below. By the way, not the comment section, the description below. Regardless, I will link Victory Road's rental teams. I've used a lot of the teams on Road to Rank throughout the year from this site, and it's just such a good resource. I'm pretty sure there's an Eternatus team on here. Okay, wait. Let me just go through Team Preview first, and then we can just figure it out. Scrafty is very scary here. Huh. Oh man, so is Gastrodon. They have a lot of good defense. That makes me a little bit concerned. I don't know how to lead here. It could just be Liepard Necrozma, but this thing is that lead is so weak to Scrafty. That's what makes me a little nervous. Scrafty Mimikyu would be a nightmare lead to go up against, right? I don't know how I prevent that. How do I even beat that? I don't see an answer. Oh gosh, if they go with Scrafty plus Mimikyu, this is going to be really tough. I'm going to bring Stakataka. Oh, but Stakataka here, we'll see. Either way, is this the Eternatus team I'm thinking about? I just want to double check. I'm pretty sure I've seen this composition before, because we ended up using that Power Meteor Beam Eternatus, but if not... Yeah, okay, this finished 28th on the ladder in February. Okay, yeah. They go Mimi and Rotom. Huh. I could straight up Snarl, Max, and Phantasm. Kind of down for that. I don't know the Mimikyu set here. So this is a little risky, but they're not maxing Mimikyu, which is a good start. Yeah. I've never actually played against this team before, and I just remembered seeing the composition. So it's definitely it's not like Power or Meteor Beam Eternatus, if I remember correctly. Let's see what they go for. Oh, they just Shadow Sneak. I mean, yes, that hurts, but like honestly, I'm okay with that. Because like we decrease Rotom special attack, we knock out Mimikyu. What if I just max guard Trick Room there? Was that worth it? I'm not 100% sure it's worth it, especially without us seeing what's in the back. Okay, they nasty plot. That's fine. I probably want to max guard Trick Room this turn, but it depends on what comes in. The thing is, Eternatus is actually really bad into Necrozma, which is kind of funny. Oh. Well, they didn't lead Mimikyu Scrafty, so I'm happy about that. I think I would have gotten destroyed by that, quite frankly. The Life Orb Mimikyu is pretty interesting. They could have maxed there. Phantasm would have really hurt. Like, if they just went Phantasm, Thunderbolt, or Overkey into Necrozma, turn 1 could have been really brutal. Obviously, Prism Armor is very helpful as an ability, but taking, like, a max 4x super effective attack never feels good. And they bring in Gastrodon. Okay. Gastrodon doesn't scare me very much. I don't think a +1 Max Flare KOs Necrozma here. And Rotom loses to Stakataka in the back. I could just... Wait. I could just Snarl here. And Mindstorm. Right? I really wanted a Fake Tears. Oh, Mindstorm wasn't good. It wasn't a good play because now I can't Fake Tears next turn onto Gastrodon. They might be maxing Gastro. If they do that, I'll be so frustrated. Yeah, I could have just KO'd Gastro here with Fake Tears and Mindstorm. That would have been a game-winning play. I was so close to making it. I don't know why I hesitated from that. Okay, it still could be worse though. It's not that bad for us. Like, Liepard Snarl is actually so good right now, so yeah, not bad. Interesting that they didn't bring Scrafty into a Necrozma. Yeah, they just T-Bolt, that's fine. Like, look how bulky Oh, no, 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 don't do this to me. Oh. That's actually such a tough para, because that para means that they get to Quake before I attack them. Okay, that's fine. We can still win this. Still not over by any means. I'm gonna max guard Trick Room this next turn, I think. Yeah, that's such a difference maker if they didn't para, because then we get the Mindstorm before they attack. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Yeah, let's go for Copycat. Oh, the only downside here is if I get paralyzed. We definitely had the matchup here. I don't know. What do we even? What does this even copy? Alright. I don't feel that bad about this one. I mean, the odds of my opponent getting that para the first time around and then full para, like, is really slim. Now, granted, I could have just gone Fake Tears, Max Psychic onto Gastro, although we ended up getting paralyzed anyway. That's just so frustrating, but like I said, the odds of that are pretty slim. We also copied Photon Geyser, but then it targeted Gastro. Shame. I'm gonna Snarl Trick Room here. If we got Trick Room up, I honestly think we win the endgame pretty comfortably. And we miss Snarl. Man, when it rains, it really pours. We had the matchup here. I definitely could have played a little bit better, but I think if that para just doesn't happen, we're in very good shape. So then the question I should ask myself is, could I have prevented the para? Could have knocked out Rotom, but I didn't mind prioritizing KOing Mimikyu in the early game. The problem is that Torkoal and Stakataka are like the worst two Pokemon to have against a Gastrodon. Like, I needed to do more damage in a Gastrodon specifically with Necrozma. Like I said, I think the better play was to just Fake Tears, Max Psychic into Gastrodon. And if Rotom maxes, then I just Max Guard Trick Room the next turn. Yeah, I think that was the play. And setting up Psychic Terrain was not... Well, it would have worked out for us here because, like, if I don't get fully paralyzed, or if I don't get para, then it's fine. We have Air Balloon. You could just T-Bolt Earth Power into stack, right? Ugh. Well, it's -1, minus... Their last one's going to be Eternatus, so I don't think we can really win right now. Oh, I could Snarl Trick Room, I suppose. Okay, hold on, hold on. Maybe there's a chance. Because Torkoal plus Stakataka can beat Eternatus under Trick Room. Berry Rotom, yeah. Okay. We got pretty fortunate in RNG-wise in all the other games today, so it's like, I can't really complain. See if we can survive Earth Power after the Snarls. I'm not really counting on it. Yeah. I mean, this game was just a brutal full para. Like, the odds of that, once again, like I said, are really slim. So that, okay, let's like reevaluate. Turn 1 went fine. Turn 2, I had no way to deny the paralysis other than Max Guard, Necrozma, and Copycat. But I don't like doing that when my opponent has Gastrodon on the field, because Gastrodon should be slower than Necrozma. The thing is, I didn't go for my best play that turn anyway, right? Well, I don't know. I honestly think Snarl Max Psychic is... Like, imagine if we don't get full para there. Snarl Max Psychic is a great play. Because then Gastrodon takes more than 50% before it gets the Max Quick Boost. And then I set up Psychic Terrain, so another Max Psychic just KOs. And unfortunately, we had no way to deny a paralysis here. Other than, like I said, Copycat Max Guard. But if I Copycat the Trick Room, then Gastrodon gets more boosts on their Trick Room. We don't want that. Okay, we were really having out here, so I guess I'll YOLO Copycat. There's really nothing we can do here at this point. Yeah, kind of disappointed, but that's okay. You know, when you play so many games, like, you are going to run into some bad luck. Liepard keeps targeting the wrong Pokemon. I wonder if it copied Photon Geyser and targeted the Rotom with Copycat, if it could have KO'd. That would have been really funny. Yeah, it's Recover as well. Okay. Yeah, I want to check out the actual details of this team, because I believe there is a paste on Victory Road, so let's see. There is a rental for this as well, I believe, so if you want to try it out yourself, feel free to give it a shot. This Bold Rotom, nasty plot. Eternatus is, yeah, Black Sludge, Dynamax Cannon, Sludge Bomb, Flamethrower, Protect. Like, that thing just hard loses to the Necrozma, so, yeah. And without the Scrafty coming out, I don't think I would have played this too differently, quite frankly. Turn 2 was just such an anomaly from the full para. Okay, granted I could have knocked out Rotom turn 1, but I don't like that because we really need to respect Mimikyu as a threat on the field. So, Vikavolt wouldn't have done too much for us. Porygon could have Eerie Impulse. I think we're the right Pokemon because Torkoal and Stakataka can close out the game for us very easily as long as we get more damage onto Gastro. So, yeah. You know, you should always see what you could have done better. But in this game, like, I think the para itself was already tricky because if they don't get the para immediately, we should outspeed Gastro. I mean, unless this Gastro has speed EVs. No, it's quiet nature, yeah. So if they didn't para there, we get Max Psychic, we set up Terrain, then Snarl Max Psychic the next turn might just be able to pick up a KO. Even if it doesn't, we're still in pretty good shape. And then if they didn't get the para on the turn that I max guarded, then I would have gotten Trick Room up, right? And then with Trick Room, then my Necrozma can outspeed the Gastrodon, get a big Photon Geyser off, and then Torkoal and Stakataka under Trick Room can maybe pull something off. But as soon as we don't get Trick Room up, it's bad. Now, I didn't want to set up Trick Room in the beginning of this game because my opponent had Mimikyu and they had the Gastrodon. Yes, this is a hard Trick Room team, but you still need to identify when to go for it and when not to go for it. So, obviously a little bit sad about how that played out, but all things considered, like, that's a game where it's like, okay, the odds of what happened were really slim, right? Para from Thunderbolt 10%, and then getting the full para on that turn is what, 1 in 4 as well. So pretty slim odds. Most of the time we should come out of the first 2 turns like very, very positive. And so yeah, and I really don't see like a significantly better line of play that I could have taken because I did think I need to respect Mimikyu as a threat in the beginning of the game. I like the Snarl. Snarl is really valuable for us here. It's just I mean, I guess I could have maxed Psychic Rotom on the turn I got full parad, or sorry, the turn yeah, the turn I got full parad, not full parad. But wouldn't have KO'd? Even if it KOs, it's contingent off not getting full parad in the end. So, yeah. But, you know, that's how Pokemon shakes up sometimes. You're going to get unlucky, and the most important thing is to always ask yourself, did you have better plays to make? And if the answer, sometimes the answer is no. Like, very occasionally, the answer will be no. I think typically there is a better line of play that you could take, but in this game, I think I'm fairly content. Like, if you told me, hey, you have a 98% chance of winning the game, well, first of all, I'd ask you, is there a way to win the game 100% of the time? And I didn't see that approach without, you know, without, like, we basically put ourselves in a position to, like, always KO the biggest threat. So that's the main thing. But, you know, that's okay. Like I said, it's Pokemon at the end of the day. You are going to get unlucky every now and then. And it's important to just identify and shake it off, you know. And if you feel like you played well, and, you know, acknowledge that and say, okay, I may have lost this one, but if I were to make the same moves again, it would probably favor me. So, yeah. And besides, it's not like, you know, like my opponent was going for their outs. Thunderbolt was just consistent damage there. I wonder if they were just going for the full para that turn. Because I was like, if they didn't get the full pair and I went Fake Tears, Max Psychic, and a Gastrodon, that could have been a better play, but I still like Snarling to cover for the option of Rotom Max there. So, yeah. I gotta sit on that one a little bit more, because I always think there's a better play you can make, even if when you get unlucky. I just don't see a significantly better line of action I could have taken, but I'm sure there is one. Either way, that is going to be it for this one. So thank you so much as always for watching. I had a lot of fun with this team today. So yeah, it really impressed me. Looking forward to playing a couple more games with it in the next one. And yeah, leave a like if you enjoyed. Don't forget to answer the question of the day. Details for the team are in the description below, and I'll see you all next time. All right, peace.